Hello and welcome everyone to the next episode on SAP UI5 and Fiori training. In the last session, we started with introduction of JavaScript. We have completed our CSS day 2. Today is our JavaScript day 1. So let's get started with a quick recap of what we did towards the end. So we understand what is JavaScript. JavaScript is browser's programming language. It is case sensitive and every statement ends with semicolon. It follows the specialized naming convention, and JavaScript is what browser directly understand. JavaScript is a asynchronous non-blocking input output. JavaScript are of two types, client-side and server-side JavaScript. In this course, we will focus only on the client-side JavaScript. Because it runs on the client side, it runs completely on the browser, hence it's called client-side JavaScript. Now, let's go ahead and see how the asynchronous non-blocking IO works. So basically, whenever you call a method in JavaScript from your browser or one method calling another method, you can also along with that pass an information that which method will be processed once the processing of called method is completed, and the JavaScript will not let your thread, it will not let your computer process blocked for long time. Rather, it gives the control back to the user, and user can continue to do whatever user is doing, and in parallelly the other processing keeps happening, and once the response or result comes back, that result will be shown to the user using callback function or promises. So let's get started. Now what we will do first is we'll create a very simple things. Before we do that, let's exactly understand some of the use cases of JavaScript. So what are all the JavaScript capability, why we use JavaScript and what it can do. So JavaScript can actually show output to user. We can change the CSS at runtime. We can use it to validate the data. We can use it to manipulate the DOM. We can use it to call server methods, basically making a request to the server. All of the capabilities is what JavaScript offers us. So let's start with show the output to user. JavaScript offers four different functions. With the help of that, we can show output to our end user. What are all these four functions and how can we use them? So whatever code I'm going to write in this notepad file, and I will share this notepad file with you at the end of the demo. So let me go back to the browser. As you already aware that we can try JavaScript directly. Now one funda fox of today's class, guys, any error when it comes in processing of JavaScript code, you will see that in your console. Console is your best friend. Console is your best friend. What is the role of best friend in life? Anyone? Quickly. What is the role? You must be having some best friends or friend in your life. Maybe you may have so many friends, but there is one friend who is special, who's best friend. What is the role of best friend? Friends in the life. Anyone? Come on, chat window. Reliability, help in need, points to errors. Exactly. Stay with us in every situation. Tell us if we are wrong. Tell us the way it is. It's not like it will always show you a rosy picture. It will tell you and show you the right path, suggest you, concerns about you. Exactly. Exactly. Wow, guys. Wow. So same thing happens with console. Console is your best friend. Tomorrow or later in the day, Anubhav is not going to be with you. Anubhav is going to go away. Who will be your best friend in your tough times? Who will help you whenever you are in need? Who will suggest you where are you doing things wrong? Who will be holding your hand and going along with this journey for lifetime with you to help you coding and fixing issues with UI5 and JavaScript code. It's the console. It's the console. That's why I always say console is my best friend as well, because if you cannot make console your best friend, this journey is going to be very difficult. Very, very difficult. Console is our best friend. Okay. If you write anything wrong, you can see it immediately tells you that this is not a valid JavaScript statement. So in future also remember, if there is something going wrong, always open console and check. Always, always check console. If there is anything ever goes wrong, check the console. Funda Fox of today's class, first Funda Fox. Console is our best friend. It will tell whenever an error comes. What I see usually students when they attend my training, that I give them assignment to work, they work on it, and then when their result doesn't come, they immediately shoot an email. They never go and bother to care about looking at console. Please don't do that. Please, please, please don't do that. Please have a look at console before you shoot an email. Trust me, it's gonna save a lot of time, your time and my time. And in that saved time, I will be able to give you more. I will be able to get you more learnings actually. Promise me, everybody, next time when your output won't come, at least you will open console once before shooting an email. Promise me. Please say yes in the chat window. Please, that's a promise. That's an affirmation you're giving to me that you will open the console window before you shoot an email to anybody, or before you ask anybody, or before you send an email, or before you ask a question. Please promise that you will go back and open the console at least एक बार खोल के देखना मेरे दोस्त. Trust me, you're gonna become an expert in UI5. Just एक बार console open करके देख लेना. Just one time, please, please open console before you shoot and ask anybody. All right. Trust me, you're gonna get a great learning ahead of your career. All right. So let's start with first output function. There are four output functions. First one is called alert. It's going to show a pop-up to the user. So I can say, welcome to the world of JS. Yeah, enter. And you see, we got this pop-up. So this is actually the first output function, the way you can show something output to the user. The first output function. Welcome to the world of JS, JavaScript. Second output function is, so this is what you can use to show a pop-up. It's a first output function. Now, second output function is called document.write. Now, what is document.write? Or before that, let's write console.log. Console.log will print something in the console, and I'll say, hey dude, how you doing? And there you go. Hey dude, how you doing? So this is mainly for developer usage. Many a times you're running some piece of code and you want to see if control reached to that piece of code or not. You can silently keep console.log in your code, and it will print something in the console, and then you can simply open console and check whether a particular variable value or a particular piece of code was triggered by JavaScript or not. Okay. So that's the second output function. Now comes is the third output function called document.write. Before I get into it, let me explain you the next funda fox. One question to all of you. In ABAP program, we use sci-datum to print date. One question, do we need to declare it? Do you guys need to declare it in the program using data statement before you use it? No, na? Why? Why guys? Why you are not saying data, site datum, type date? Why? It's a system variable. Superb answer. Okay, now guys talking. Awesome. It's a system variable. It's a System variable, it's predefined, it's already there. Similarly, JavaScript also has two very powerful predefined variables. The first one is called document and second one is called window. Yes, these are all the two variables we have it when it comes to working with the system. Document and window, document and window, document and window. These are two predefined variables. You can use them anytime you like. You can use them anytime you like. You don't have to worry. You don't have to declare them. What are all they representing? Document is the object of DOM. Anybody who will tell me full form of DOM? Previous classes I've taught you this. What is full form of DOM? Who is watching regularly? Who's making notes? Document object model. Not a single person gave right answer till now. Yeah, now I got it. It's document object model, the object of the DOM. So whatever DOM you see in here, so this whole DOM object it is actually. It's an object of complete DOM. Pura, entire HTML DOM. It's an object of this DOM. What can you do with this? You can traverse through these tree elements. Yes, you can traverse through these tree elements using DOM. Okay, so it is very helpful to traverse in DOM tree and get any HTML element. Any HTML element which you have, you can get that. Okay, any HTML element, you can get that out of the box. Okay, next comes is window. Window is the object of your current browser window. Okay, that's what it is. So let's see some examples of both document and window object. So remember, I'm going to put all the code in the notepad file and every line of code is ended with semicolon. That's a good practice. Though you are testing one line, each line you don't need to put semicolon, but if you put all the lines together, then you need semicolon. I'm going to go back, come back here, and I will write document, and you see it shows me. One question to all of you. If I write this, will it work? If I write capital D, will it work? No, JavaScript is case sensitive. Yesterday's class, Funda Fox. Very good, guys. You are all reading it daily. Those who will read my lecture daily and those who will prepare the notes, trust me, you will hit the bullseye. You will be a champ in UI5. But those who not read the notes daily, those who not revise things which are taught in the morning class, trust me, life is going to become hell for you in coming days. Yes, you may be thinking these things are very easy for now. They will become dangerous for you. You will start forgetting things. They will start dwindling in your mind and you will start getting confused day by day. This is our fifth day, and I'm clearly telling you, those who are not preparing notes or at least not going through Funda Foxes on daily basis, it is going to become challenging day by day, day by day. So please go back every day, revise the lecture, and also, if possible, try to make notes with your pen and pencil on a notebook. Because when you note down with your notebook in a copy, उंगलियों को याद हो जाता है. Your fingers will remember. Your fingers will always remember whether your mind forget or not. If you write something of your own with your own hand, Trust me, your fingers will remember it whether you have forgotten. The next day when you open that book notebook up, you will be able to recall everything. Your fingers will remember. If you ever visit my house, you will see I have a big shelf and it's full of piles and piles of notebook. You call any subject of engineering, I have a notebook where I have notes for that, written with my own fingers. Any subject of engineering you ask me to teach tomorrow, I can take out my notebook and very next day I'm ready to teach that subject, be it applied electronics, operational amplifiers, digital electronics, antenna engineering, microprocessors, semiconductor devices, microcontrollers, you name the subject. It's there by heart with me in a notebook written down. You name it, UI5 Fiori, Launchpad, ABAP on HANA, S4 HANA, you name it. I have a notebook for it with me in my shelf, and that's my collection. Any topic I can read, I can crack interview very next day because I have notes written by my own hand. Adopt this practice, you will see miraculous changes by end of this course the way you learn. It's important to learn, but most of the people don't know how to learn. How to learn. They know that they are learning, but they don't even know how to learn. So this how to learn practice is also very important to become a successful ABAP on HANA or S4 HANA or Fiori developer. Document dot write next output function, it is gonna replace the whole document, whole DOM. It's gonna wipe out everything and replace the content with what you write. I'll write an H2 and I'll say voila, and I'll say end of H2, and watch out, you can see the whole page, whole DOM got replaced with voila. Clear everybody? The third output function using document. Now let's reload. And now suppose if I want to change this top one H1 element, this guy, only this guy on the top, I just want to change its text dynamically. I can go back. Let me give an ID to this guy. I didn't give an ID before. Let me give an ID. I give an ID. I'll say welcome. That's the ID. Notice an ID of an HTML element is uniquely identifies that element on the entire page. It should not repeat. Tomorrow you can never ever do this. Never do this. If you're doing this, it's a violation of HTML principles, which we don't want to do. Okay. ID makes it unique actually. Okay. Unique. I'm going to save it. Let's come back, reload. You can also detect that element now here in the body. So you can see it's here. You can see its ID welcome. It's available here. We can go back to this console and now I can say document dot get element by ID, and I'm going to say inside welcome. So you can see the document has a inbuilt method. This is a predefined variable which has a method. It's an object. Actually, it's an object of DOM. It has a method called get element by ID, which precisely gives you one single element. And now press enter. You can see it has given you the element, and now you can say dot value. Voila, right now it has nothing. I think we should say dot inner text because value is used for input fields, and you should say inner text, and you see your values popping up on your screen. Yeah, so you can see this is how document object can be used. It's so powerful. It can access any element or multiple elements on the screen. Okay, on the screen it can access. So right now you saw we access this element first of all. Next funda fox for all of you, everything is an object. So what you saw here was an object, so it is returning an object out. This whole thing is an object actually, and this whole thing which is an object, on top of this object I'm calling a value property or inner text property to access the value. Okay, so this is what on top of this whole object I am calling this. Okay, same thing you can do in a different way. You can first store this object in a variable. So var variable name, let's say demo, equals to my object. document get element by ID. And now this gives me an object demo. Let's see the demo, and you can see demo, it's showing me the object, and I can say demo dot inner text, and now you can see it's printing the value on the screen. Everybody understood? Two-step process or one-step process, choice is yours. So last time what I did was I did a one-step process for the same. Okay, so first we got the object here. You see this is exact match, and then later on the object we are doing inner text. So instead of doing that, we are doing inner text directly on that object here. Advantage is I don't need to create a variable separately. So like I created a demo variable, I don't have to do that if I do follow the above syntax. This is just a different syntax. This concept, this concept, this is a concept. This concept where you call an object and its variable directly. This concept is called chaining in JavaScript. What is it called? What is it called? Chaining in JavaScript. You are using this whole thing as an object. On top of it, you called a method or an attribute. It's called chaining in JavaScript. So JavaScript supports chaining. So you can say object dot, you can call some get method, and if that get method gives you another object on top of it, you can call another get method, and if that gives you another object on top of it, you can call another get method, and finally on the final object you can call access any property or any value of that. Okay, how to find the methods available for object like document? Who will tell me where can you go and find all the methods available for the document object? So Smita has got the correct answer. W3C schools. Another quick way. Okay, let me first put this code in there for to not lose any information, just in case, guys. Okay, just in case not losing any information. W3C, but you can also do a little quick trick here. You can say document dot, and you see all the list of methods are available for you to consume. All properties and methods are visible here. Can you see? This is how I do. Don't even have to go to W3C. Can check all of them here. Okay, code completion shows me here in console. And you see there are methods like get element by ID, get element by class name, get element by name, tag name. You see, it follows a strict JavaScript naming convention. Get first words, first letter is small, G is small. Element, second consecutive word, first letter is capital, E is capital. By third consecutive word, first letter is capital, B is capital. ID, I is capital. Get element by ID. Chota, bada, 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 bada. Camel case, guys. Camel case. Do you all clear? See any method you pick it up. See any method you see. It follows the camel case naming convention. Yesterday we saw that in the class as a funda fox. Today I think it's the right time you understand this with an example. Are you guys clear the camel case? JavaScript follows camel case naming convention both for attributes, functions. Yeah. So it's a function. It's a get function actually. Okay, so if I do get elements by class name, you will see in a moment. If I say give me all the elements which has class name as a box, you're gonna see it returns me a collection. Collection is an array. It returns me an array of multiple elements because I have three elements here which has same class name as box. So these APIs or these methods you can use, very powerful methods they are. I'll show you some examples in coming days for these methods. Okay, so that was about the document object. You saw it. Now guys, let me show you some nice hacking tips. So if I go to any website, let's say Fiddler or Blogger, a lot of blogging websites. Yeah, so I go to any blogging website and I will do a login. Okay, I'll do a sign in. There's a sign in option. Yeah, here it is. And suppose I've stored my password here on the email. Okay, so I'll say demo and suppose I sometimes you see some passwords are stored in the browser directly, correct? So I have this field here where I've stored my password. The moment I come on this screen, it shows me the password, but this password is not visible. You can right click, inspect, go to console, go to element, and you see the ID of this element is password. HANA ID password, copy this ID. If it is not there, inject yourself. If it is not there, I'll make it X. I can change it. I got it X. Now I'm gonna go back console. I'll say document dot get element by ID X dot value. It's an input field. That's my password, guys. You can hack anybody's password pretty easily if you know JavaScript, and console is your best friend. You can easily do hacking of anyone's password. We can't change, but we can hack it. If it's not visible, any data on the screen which is not visible to you, you can easily make that appear, make that disappear, make data changes, read the passwords which are there on the screen. All of this is coming under ethical hacking. But remember, big power comes with big responsibilities. Remember, Uncle Ben have told Peter Parker before dying, Peter, big power comes with big responsibilities. So please remember, don't misuse your powers. Don't misuse. All right? Never do that. Okay, we can change the password to text. No, yeah, we can also do that. This input element, you can change it. You can do a lot of things actually here. Yes, you can also change it to a type as text actually. Yeah, so type as text, and then it will anyway be visible on the screen. You can do that. That's a DOM change. That's a DOM change actually. Yeah, that's a DOM change. So there's a lot you can do actually on the screen when it comes to passwords. This is all ethical hacking. Hackers use this information. So it's recommended never store your passwords on the browser, because if your laptop is gone in somebody's hand, they can easily go to the logon page of your bank account. Sometimes on the bank account also they are stored. That's why many banks, they don't allow to press F12 on their screen. Okay, let me show you IndusInd Bank. I go to IndusInd Bank. Yeah. So now I go to IndusInd Bank. So on the IndusInd Bank, I will have some username, okay, and some password. And now on my F12 was anyway open, but if my F12 is not open, if I press F12, nothing happens. They don't allow opening F12 actually on their website. So you say F12, I'm pressing F12, it's not opening. It's not opening, guys. The reason is very simple and straightforward, that they don't want you to hack this password. So be careful when you're working with browsers. Has somebody who knows the JavaScript. They can talk to browser and they can steal your passwords. Okay. Okay, let's come back. So that was just a quick trick. Wanted to show you what the capabilities it can do. Next object is window object. So the alert function which you saw, it's actually a member of the window object actually. Yeah. So it's a member of window, but we don't write window.alert, but it's actually a member of window class or window object actually. Okay. So you see window.alert. So it's a family member of window, but even you write alert, it's fine. How can we hide F12? We can't hide it. You just have to press F12 and then it goes away. And you press F12 again, it comes up. Yeah, that's how we can do that. You can't disable it. I mean, at least I'm not aware of techniques. Of course, there is possibility to completely disable, abandon it on your website, but I'm not aware of it. I think you can check on internet, you'll find it. As I mentioned, JavaScript is the world's #1 language, used most top used language. Trust me, guys, there's a lot of resources on the internet you can search about on JavaScript. There's a lot magical things you can do on JavaScript. All right, now window object. Somebody was asking me a question, Anubhav, can I open your website in another tab on a click? The other day when we were clicking on the link, it was opening on same tab. Today is your time. I will answer your question. Window.open, and I will say https www.anubhavtrainings.com. Please open, everybody, please open F12 on your browser and just type in this. Watch out what happens. It's gonna launch an about trainings on another tab altogether. Is it happening that way? Please, I put it in the chat window. Are you able to experience what I am able to experience? So this is the way you can open a website on another tab. So the other day, anchor tag which we were using, anchor was opening it on the same tab. But when you do this window dot open, it will launch in a new tab. Are you guys able to experience? Is it working or not working for you in the console? Press F12. Yeah. Target blank, you did not paste it correctly. Naveen, you did not place it correctly. Okay, working. Fine. It's working for all of you. That's cool. So that's how you can use window dot open to open a new tab altogether with the URL given. That's how we can open it. All right, let's come back. So that was about basics of document and window object. Now let's talk about variable creation in JavaScript. How to create variables, working with variables. And then we will talk about working with functions. And I will say how to apply JavaScript, and then we will see working with functions. Yeah. So let's go ahead and see working with variables. Working with variables in JavaScript. The variables gets get their data types according to the value assigned to them. Yes. The data type will get automatically according to the value assigned. Okay. So in ABAP, you have to say data LV matter type I, right? Right, guys? So what is this type I? You're declaring that this is going to be an integer type of variable. In C programming, you have to say int I. You're telling C programming that this I is of type integer. In JavaScript, it is not needed. Not needed. What can you do here? You can simply say var. Var is a keyword, guys. Remember, small letter. Var is a keyword to declare variable in JavaScript. Yeah. So we use var, v small, and your variable name equals to some value. And depending on the value you assign, the data type will automatically allocate. We have data type like string, number, boolean, we have float, we have object. These are all the top data types we have in JavaScript. Watch out, watch out. Let's go back to console. We can practice it all here. Say var x equals to 10. And let's print the x, and you see it's printing 10. Now guys, my question, to $1 billion question, what do you think the data type of x is? What do you think the data type of x is? Integer. Very good. How can you check? You can use a type of function in JavaScript, which is a built-in function to check the data type of a variable. It's a number. Okay, it's a number data type. This is the function you can use, built-in function, to check the data type of a variable. Let me just say var x equal to 12. Now who will tell me what is the data type of my x? Tricky question. Let's see how much experience you have in programming. Very good answer. It's of type character or a string. Let me use upper arrow on my keyboard, 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 upper arrow, down arrow, 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 upper arrow, upper arrow, upper, down, 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 down. This is the way you can traverse the previously written statement, makes it easy for you. Press enter. You see it's of type string. Awesome. Awesome. Keep putting. Yeah, that's how it creates. Now, what about, I know this is, I'm sure, I'm guaranteed sure that this is a data of integer, but it's currently by mistake coming as a string. Suppose this is coming from some other system as a string, but I know that this is a number. How can we convert a string to a number? There are conversion functions. So you can say var y equals to, we can use parse int, parse to an integer my x. So now it's going to parse my x, convert that to an integer, and that value it stores in y. Watch out, the value of y, it became 12. Everybody, have you understood how to do conversion of one data type to another? Of course, only permitted conversions are allowed. You can't just say convert a number to a string. That's not allowed. That can never happen. Only permitted conversions are allowed. Parse int, very very powerful to convert a number to a, sorry, a string to a number. Okay, next one, var x equals to true. अभी कौन बताएगा what is the data type of your x is boolean. Awesome, you guys are right. Upper arrow, you see it's a boolean data type. Okay, it's a boolean data type. I'm gonna dock it on the left and right, makes my life more easy. Yeah, yeah, I can do that. So now you see it's a boolean data type. So that was about basic data types for JavaScript. Now coming to little complex one is an array. Okay, array. Okay, sorry, I missed array. So what is an array? Array can store multiple values. Okay, multiple values, multiple values. But guys, funda fox about array here in JavaScript. Please don't forget this funda fox of an array. An array always starts with index 0. This is the most important line while working with arrays in JavaScript. Funda fox of array always and always and always starts with index 0. Never miss this, you will have big trouble. Okay, array always starts with index 0. Everybody, are you clear? Array always starts with index 0. Clear? Okay, so there's a question from Shiva, var a equal to capital A, var b equal to parse of a, it will store value 65 in variable? No, it will not, Shiva. It will not. The conversion will fail. Conversion will fail. You can try it out in your browser. Now, coming back, let's do this. So this is the first item, which is index 0. Second item, index 2. Third item, index 2. So this is how you can work with an array. Okay. Like this, you have index of each item. Yeah, you can access an array by array name bracket its index bracket, and now I can pass index here. This is how we can access an element of an array. We can calculate the length of an array with array name dot length. This gives me the total number of elements which are present in array. Okay, so that's how you work with array. Let us go ahead to the system and experience the difference. Let me go back out there. Watch out, we are going to experience this over here now. So I'm going to create var, I will say create an array of fruits equals to an array bracket. Guys, symbols will break you or make you. Some next funda fox, symbols will break you or make you. Symbols will break you or make you. Symbols will break you or make you. Symbols, very important in programming. Many time people use interchangeably when you are in a Skype call or Zoom call with your colleague. If you're asking to write some code down, if you're telling not able to tell what symbol is what, trust me, you lose the trust. People will say यार इसको symbols भी नहीं मालूम है, programming करता है ये. Okay, this is called parenthesis. What is it called? This is very tiny things, small things, but they matter a lot in your work. Parenthesis. This is called curly braces. What is it called? curly braces, majla bracket, and this is called bracket. What we do, we usually call this as bracket, right? Most of you would do this. This you call bracket. Are you in a call with your architect and you say bracket, he or she will start writing this, which means both of you are going to go in a wrong path. This is parenthesis. This is curly braces. Pronounce it correctly because they have significance. With COVID, now most of you working from home, it's many a times you on a call, there's something not working, you're helping colleagues, and that time you got to spell out the name. And if you spell out incorrectly, they will end up writing something else. This is bracket, this is curly braces, and this is parenthesis, and they all have significance in programming. Different meaning is there. If you put parenthesis is a function call, but when you put a bracket, it's actually representing an array. Watch out, come along, let's see how can we create our first array on the screen. Go back to my best friend, ask my best friend to create a fruits array. First item is apple, banana, cherry. Enter. I've got a fruits array. Let me just say fruits. Press enter. Voila. You can see I've got three items in my array: 0, 1, 2. I've got three items: 0, 1, 2. Who will tell me what is the index of my last item currently in this array? 2. Very good answer. Cherry is 2, which means if I want to access cherry, I can say fruits of bracket and I say 2, and I've got my cherry. Clear, everybody? Are you clear how to create an array and access an element of an array by index? Now I insert one more item. I want to always get last item, always get last item. How can I get that? So today my array has 3 items, so index is 2. Tomorrow if I have 20 more, index will become more, higher and higher. How can we get exactly the last item every time? So we can do length minus 1. So first you do fruits dot length, and you got the total length is 3. Index starts with 0, so it is going to be length minus 1. That's an index of last item all the time. And now I can say fruits of my fruits of length dot index minus 1. Is this clear, everybody? How to get the last item always? Is this clear? Everyone, are you clear? How to get last item of an array always? Always gets you last item of an array. Now let me insert a new element in an array. So let's first just put fruits. And I'm going to add a new array. I'm going to say push. And I'm going to push a new element. And I'm going to name this element as, let's say, pineapple. And I'm going to use my last syntax. Length minus 1. You see it's giving me last item all the time. It's no more giving me the cherry. Okay, yes, you can create an array, just say fruits of empty. Okay, you can say var, let's say books array, and you can just do like this. And later on you can add in items inside books. So books dot push a flying fox, books dot push one step closer. And now I can say books array, and I've got my 2 books inside my array. Okay, that's how you can work. Try these things out, get your hands dirty in the code. Trust me, you're gonna love JavaScript. So easy, it's not at all Java. It's so easy. Even school students are these days learning. I have my cousin's daughter. She's in standard 5, and she's coding JavaScript like anything. Yes, anything, like anything, she can code JavaScript. Actually, it's so easy to work with JavaScript. Very basic things are there actually to work with JavaScript. Can we push more than one item in an array? Yes, you can. You can have combine two arrays together. So suppose I want to combine my fruits and books together, we can do that pretty easy. I can say books dot concat, and I'm going to pass here inside fruits, and you see it has concatenated both the arrays together to a single array. That's how you can insert multiple items together in one go from one array to another. Okay, can we use semicolon when not use no, we not use semicolon actually, always use comma. Okay, is there any
So
limit? There
how
is
can
no
we
limit.
add more than so how can we add more than one line with a push of it?
I think push will not work with this. Let me try. If you want to add it with push, let me try. Let me add two items now inside. This will not work, so you have to pass, let's say, just pass new fruit. I'm going to pass two new fruits to the push. Let me try. So I'm passing an array directly inside the push. Let me try here. I will say lychee and I'll say mango. And if I say books, you see it has become a deep nested structure now. See, it has pushed an array inside an array. It become a nested structure, nested array actually. It pushed, but it pushed an array, whole array itself as a push. That's how it becomes. Now, if you want to traverse to lychee, then you have to say fruits array first of all. Then inside, okay, it was books array. Inside the books array, you have to first access the second item index, and this second item index is an array itself. Uske andar fir jaake you want to access lychee, you can say one, or mango, you can access like this. So it's a nested array. Okay, let me put this also. I mean, little confusing for you. You guys are new to it. If you try out these complex example right from day one, it's gonna be little confusing, but that's okay. Since you ask a question, it's my duty to answer. Maybe it could be a confusing for other people, but that's okay. You guys can avoid such questions. All right, now that was about array. So we worked with an array, we saw some operations. What about if I want to insert an item in the middle? So push and pop, they're gonna work only with the last item or first item. So it's last in, last out. Okay, last in, last out. So push and pop, they are to insert and delete an element. But what about if I want to insert an element at a particular position? At a particular position, how can I do that? So I can say fruits dot splice, and I will say at which position I want to insert. So I want to insert at position 2, which is just before cherry. So I will add a new fruit name, let's say mango, and I'm gonna say comma 0. 0 means delete count. Are we gonna delete? No, 0 is the delete count, comma I'm gonna insert a new element at position 2. So 0 comma 2, press enter, and now check your fruits. Oops, it's not working, there is something wrong. Let me just check. Dot splice. Okay, we have to say position. I'm so sorry. We have to say position 2. We don't want to delete anything 0, comma we want to insert a new item. What is the new item? It's mango. That's how it is. Yes. So 2 is the index where you want to do the operation within the array. 0 indicates we don't want to delete. See, same splice can be used to delete an element also, insert also. So we put 0 means I'm working insert operation. And watch out now, if I just check fruits element, you can see mango is inserted at position 2. Clear everybody? Are you clear? Okay, it also inserted our 2 itself in here. I'm not sure why it happened, but let me just pop this up. Ideally it should not happen. Let me just remove this. It removed the last wala. You see last in, first out actually. So it removed the pineapple, but I want to remove the first element of an array. You can pass an index of fruits dot splice function, and I want to remove it the first position 0th element with one index starting. Press enter. You see it removed 2. And now if you see my array, It has apple, mango, banana, and cherry. So how to remove an element from a particular index is this is how you do it. So in the syntax is you can say fruits array name dot splice from which is the element to remove uska index comma how many elements I want to remove. So that we have to put. So after zeroth index remove one element, it has removed two from there. And now if I want to insert in the middle, let me show you again. I just put fruits. I want to insert at this position, so I can say fruits dot splice. Please insert at a position of, I think we can just put here pineapple, and I'm gonna put delete count is no, we have to put a start index only. So I'll put a start index as let's say 2 and second position 0, and I want to insert a new item, so I'm gonna pineapple here. Let's see what it does, and I'm gonna say fruits array. And yes, it works. You can see, I don't know why it didn't work last time, but it works. You see splice function, which index you want to work, how many elements you want to delete. I don't want to delete anybody, so I say 0, and then I'll say my new value which I want to insert in the middle. So that's why I am putting this, and now you see it's inserting pineapple in the middle. Cool, yeah. And if I want to use this one, it's gonna remove my first item. So maybe I want to remove, let's say mango. Mango is index 1. After index 1 I want to remove only one, so it's gonna remove mango. And now you see your array mango is gone. Okay, that's how you work with an array. Now coming to the most interesting topic of this class, which is creating an object. Okay, how do you create an object in JavaScript? How do we do that? Object in JavaScript, this is similar to structure in ABAP. Okay, equivalent of that is structure in ABAP. Okay, can you please explain symbol, curly braces, and parenthesis? I'll explain to you when the time comes, you will know. Okay, for now bracket is only for array and parenthesis is for function. Curly braces we will see it later, and that's what I'm going to show you now, Tinu. Curly braces, please allow me to proceed. I'll show that now. Is array allow duplicate values? Yes, array will allow duplicate values whatever you want. Okay, is there any pointer linked list concept also in JavaScript? No, but you can develop one, customize using object concept, which I'll show you now. So object in JavaScript similar to structure in ABAP. So it always starts with curly braces, and inside the curly braces you will have your property name colon property value comma second property colon property value. So you see curly braces has a significance here. Property name, property value, property name, property value. This is how you create an object. Let me show you creating an object on the system. We'll go back. Yeah, let's come back here on the system, and now I'm going to say var. I'm going to say employee object curly braces, and I'm going to say employee name number. JavaScript naming convention follow नहीं कर रहे हो अनुभव. N should be capital 1000 comma next value emp name colon anubhav comma I will put my third property, let's say manager ishita comma salary 15,000 comma currency, and I'll say euros. So you can see here I've got employee number property colon property value, property name, property value, property name, property value, property name, property value, property name, property value, all in a one single line separated by comma each property with its property name and value and curly braces. Press enter. Employee is now an object, my friends. Voila. This is an object now. Everybody, are you clear how to create object in JavaScript? Easy. Property name, property value, property name, property value, property name, property value in a curly braces. Easy. These are integer values. That's why they are in blue color. If you observe, they are not surrounded by double quotes. That's why they're blue. These are string values. String values always comes in the red in this color. That's a color coding, default color coding. Okay. Now, if I want to access a attribute or a property which is inside my object, I can say object name dot property name. I can say dot manager, and you see the value is Ishita. Clear everybody how to access a property of an object? Is this clear? Now, can I change my manager? Oh, we can never change. We can change our salary actually. So let's do salary change. I'm going to change my salary. Just joking, guys. So 25,000, I'm increasing it my salary to 25,000, and I can now just check my employee, and now you see I've got a nice salary, 25,000. Clear everybody? My manager is good. I don't want to change. So let it be like this. All right. So you can change the value also, and now you can see the changed value is reflecting in your object. Yeah. So can we use brackets instead of curly braces in EMP? No, it will become an array. It will become an array. Bracket is used for arrays. Curly braces is used for objects. Okay. Curly braces is used for objects. So you have an object now. Now guys, one question. If I want to create a table of employees, what I have to do? What I have to do if I have to create table of employees? Yes, you can combine array and object concept together. Very good. Vishnu Gupta has got the right answer. Put an array inside this, put curly braces. Multiple. Very good, Vishnu. You are a developer. You are a true developer. Thanks for the answer. Guys, are you clear? So I can create an array. Inside an array, I can have multiple objects. Is this clear? Yes or no? Is this clear? Yes or no? It becomes a multi-dimension array. Let's try this out. Okay, before we move on, this object is a representation in JavaScript, right? It's a JavaScript representation of your object. So when you're creating an object, so this above representation, above is a JavaScript representation or JavaScript object representation. Clear everybody? Are you understanding? This is an object representation in JavaScript. Yes or no? Yes or no? Don't you think this is a JavaScript way of defining object? In ABAP, we have different syntax. This is what works for JavaScript. Now, can any one of you read the first letter of each word for me and join? Anybody? Join the first letter of each word, what it becomes. JSON! What an answer! This becomes JSON, JavaScript object notation. Have you ever heard somebody talking about JSON in your company? JSON, 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 JSON. That's what JSON is. JavaScript object representation is called JSON. Yes. It's a very popular format to exchange the data between two systems. You can exchange data using JSON. It's easy to traverse JSON, work with it, easy to read, understand, and work with it. Yes. JavaScript object notation, JSON. Okay. Let us go back and let's create a complicated, this one is a complicated JSON. This was an easy one, but now I'm creating a JSON with it, which is little complicated. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to take my data once again, just get rid of this. Where's my declaration? Yeah, here it is. I'm gonna create an employee table, guys. So I'm gonna say tab employee. JavaScript naming convention is important. Curly braces. You can put shift enter. Shift enter makes it easy. Yeah. And now you can write your lines. So first line, comma, second line, comma, third line, comma, fourth line. How many employees I have now in my internal table? How many employees I have my internal table? 4 employees, each one of is there. Let's put values. So I'm going to put this one as 2000, this guy is 3000, this guy is 4000, and I'm going to say Ananya. Manager is also Ishita. Salary is 25,000 US dollars. Employee number 3000. Employee name is let's say Nikita. Manager is Manish. Salary is 7800 euros. 4000. Let's say Jack Dawson. And manager is again Manish. And then we say salary is 7800, and I'm gonna say US dollars. Everybody, are you clear how to create an array of object? We have combined both concepts together. This is equivalent to your internal table in ABAP. Internal table in ABAP. Okay, this is how you can create an array of objects in the system. Wow, we've got our temp emp. So this is my tab emp, sorry. I've got 4 members. These 4 members are showing me this data. Awesome. Awesome, guys, awesome. Now, my question to all of you, who will tell me what is the salary of Nikita, how to traverse? If you can answer this question, trust me, you understood both concepts. How to get salary of Nikita? What is the address to get salary of Nikita? What is the address to get salary of Nikita? Salary of Nikita. Start traversing. First of all, your array. This is starting an array. Array के second index पे जाएंगे. This is the third item of an array. Index is 2, and then from here this is a JSON. Inside this JSON, now I'm gonna travel to the salary field. So that's how you're gonna make this address. So say tab emp. First of all, Nikita is at position 2 dot salary. Have you all understood how to grab up the salary for Nikita? Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? My next question, who is the manager for Ananya? Who's 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 the manager for Ananya? I know Ishita. I know manager for Ananya is Ishita. I know that, guys. But tell me, how do you write this in JavaScript? How do you write in JavaScript? Exactly. Tab emp bracket, go to Ananya's record number 1, index is 1 dot manager. That's the manager name of Ananya. Still, I'm not getting correct answers from many of you, which means you're confused. Don't be confused. Try this at home today. Next question to all of you. Can you please tell me what is the currency in which Jack Dawson is paid? What is the currency in which Jack Dawson is paid? What is the currency in which Jack Dawson is paid? Tab employee bracket Jack Dawson is position 3 dot currency property, enter, it's paid in US dollars. Yes, exactly, exactly. Awesome, guys. That's how you traverse through an array of a JSON. Clear? Now, in practical world, we also use a lot of different JSON functions. Let me just show you. Just come here. So I've got an employee array, sorry, employee JSON, simple JSON. I want to convert this whole JSON in form of string. I can use JSON.stringify. This is a very popular, powerful function which convert an object to a string. Okay, the whole object is converted to a string format. You see, this become a string now. Why we do that? So that we can transmit over the internet. You can't transmit a JSON directly. You can transmit but a JSON in form of a string. Okay, okay. That's why we convert it JSON object to a string. This process is known serialization. What is this process known? It's known as serialization. Now, what is the reverse process of serialization? Deserialization. Okay, deserialization. Suppose you have a string of values. Suppose this whole thing is a string. So I can say var empstr. This is a string. Okay, sorry. Let me put it in single quote. Yeah, now it's a string. I've got a empstr, which is a string, and you know this is actually a JSON in form of a string. How do you deserialize this? So you will do another method, json dot parse employee string. This deserializes it and you got an object ultimately out here. Clear everybody how to serialize and deserialize the JSON. Is this clear? Very powerful built-in methods the provided with working with the JSON in the system. Very helpful methods when you work with serialization and deserialization of the JSON. So what we saw today, the complete variable concept with the JavaScript. This is a complete variable concept with JavaScript. Now the question comes, how do we apply JavaScript? So there are three ways to apply JavaScript on an app. First is called inline JavaScript. Second is called internal JavaScript, and third is called external JavaScript. So what is inline JavaScript? In which JavaScript is written at the element level. In the internal JavaScript, JavaScript is written in a special tag called script tag. Okay. In the external JavaScript, JavaScript is written in a separate file and later plug the file with HTML page. Complete reusability will come with external JavaScript. Clear everybody? Theory part. Okay. What I can understand is an object oriented coding, how to learn objects, what are all use of it. As I can see, you can easily use it, means you know how to use it. I'm making the questions. I'm not from coding background. No problem, Monojit. You just follow the structure. Just follow the lecture. After the class, try to practice this piece of code in the system. Practice this. You are not from coding background, trust me, I was also one time not from coding background. I was also not from coding background, and nobody here was from coding background. Some point of time we all have started from some place, some pointer, some motivation, some idea, some thought was there. Yeah, we were never from coding background. We all were from some background. Some point of time we started from somewhere. For you, you are lucky that you're starting with JavaScript as your first language of your programming career. You're lucky because it's easy. School students, college students are working on JavaScript. Just give a try for it. Trust me, world will be yours. Okay. Vijay's question, how do we use JS in UI5? I'm going to come back to this, Vijay, later once we start UI5. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to come back. So let's understand here inline JavaScript. So guys, JavaScript is always written. JavaScript is programming, and we need some trigger point for the code, correct? How will the code will trigger? So in JavaScript, we use events to trigger the code. Okay. In JavaScript, we use events to trigger the code actually. We will be using events to trigger the code. Okay. What is an event? Event is nothing but it's an it's a particular activity which gets triggered on user action. An activity which browser will initiate on a user action. Example, click, double click, drag drop, load. All these are different events. When your page loads, when you press on a button, when you go ahead and drag drop things, when you click, double click, when you move the cursor, when you take your mouse on something, when you take the mouse out, when you key press, all these are events. Where can you find the list of all the JavaScript events? W3C. W3C JS events. You can see here, this is the page. It will give you complete list of JavaScript event. The common usually are these. More than this, we don't need to read anything, but if you're interested, you can read this one completely to see and find all the list of DOM events in JavaScript. All of them you can find actually. Okay. All the list of DOM events are there, but you don't need all of them. You can see here, these are all the important ones. So see, for example, on click, on mouse over, on mouse out, on key down. These are all some of the events. Suppose I'll go with on click. So let's go ahead and write our first JS today. Before we close today's class, I'm going to come back, create a new HTML, jsdemo.html. I'm going to grab an HTML tag. I'm going to header. I'm going to body. And I'm going to write my first element called button. I'm going to say on click event. And inside that, we're going to write our JavaScript and I'll say click me. Now, this is an inline JavaScript because I'm writing within the same line. JavaScript is always written against an element event. And I'm going to say alert. And I will say single quote, Maja Avigio. What is Maja Avigio? It's a Gujarati word, my home tongue, my mother tongue language, which says it was a great fun learning with JavaScript on day one. Let me gonna execute this. Right click here, go to project settings, of course. I'm so sorry. Right click here, go to run configuration, and we're gonna plug in our new HTML, which is what we created today. So let's go back and say GS demo and save and run. So now we got click me over here. Nice guys. We got click me out here. So this is our JavaScript code, which is written inside an event handler. So on click is an event when it triggers when user click on the button. And then you see your inline JavaScript over here. Come back, click me, Maja Avigio. Are you all clear how to write your first JavaScript in today's session? After learning so much, we are able to achieve our first JavaScript code which we have written. Of course, we're going to do a lot more in coming class. Stay tuned with me for the next class. You're going to bombarded with concepts of more JavaScript. Those who are new to programming, please don't miss out to practice all this. In fact, every one of you should practice all this what we saw today just in the console is going to be your best friend. Let me tell you one example. I had a mechanical student. He was working with lathe machine for about 8 years in a manufacturing company. His uncle is working on one of the multinational IT with one of the company in IT department, and his uncle got a requirement for UI5 in his company. He asked this lathe machine manager, mechanical engineer, to change industry because this guy was frustrated with his current work and current company. This guy come to me and says, my uncle is in IT company. He's referring me to his company as a UI5 consultant, but I have 8 year of long gap. I have no clue about coding and IT. I said, no problem. He joined my course. He gave his blood and sweat for 2.5 months, working with me closely on this training. He transformed himself to a UI5 developer for a better future and a better career. And I hope that's exactly the inspiration you all have, those who are from the non coding or non IT background. You are currently not so happy with your current work and job. You had taken a call and a tough decision to change your industry and change your work. And that's why you're here today, every day coming and attending this course. This guy is today working in his uncle's company. He got an initial package of 3,50,000 annum. That's fine, but today is his salary in last 2 year incremented to 9.30 lakh rupees. I cannot reveal his email ID, but I know him personally. Almost every month he send me email. Every month almost he sends me email. This is one story. Second story, a Pakistani person. He's not having father. He wanted to change his work. He was working as 1 year experienced developer just in IT, but he was working in a .NET. Okay, this guy came to my course. He told me his situation. I also gave him a discount on the fees because he was from a very poor family background. And then we worked hard for 3 months together on the training batch. Today he's working in Saudi Arabia, and he was able to manage to get his two sisters married in Pakistan. And that's possible because he changed and transformed his life with right learning and right guidance. With correct hard work, he is able to position himself in a very good company in Saudi Arabia, and is earning enough for his family today. These stories do exist. They are not jokes. They do exist, and I am a real example at front of you. I have myself changed my life, shifted from a rented apartment of 1 BHK to my own villa of 8 rooms. I am an example at front of you. UI5 has changed my life in last 6 years, and it has potential to change yours as well. What it demands is a high sacrifice, commitment and hard work. There will be time when you will feel so frustrated with UI5, with this work. You will feel ABAP is better, but trust me, if there is something which has to change, which has caliber to change today your career, it's the UI5. All right, let's move on quickly to your questions before we close today's class. First question, where can I find certification material? I showed it yesterday also. You can go to one of our trainings, SAP UI5 training page, and here you see certification Fiori guidance. We only give guidance, we don't give material for certification. For dumps with which you can clear certification over 95% score, ask Raj. They are the people who are selling dumps. They are associated with us. You can talk to them, send an email and get the dumps, clear the certification completely through those dumps. Okay, you can do like that for UI5 certification. Even you can crack it today, this month, this week itself. Even our course is not complete, you can do that, but I would say do it after our course is complete. That will be better. Okay, go with the DAMs, clear the certification. It's about 25,000 certification fee which SAP charge. You have to take a learning hub subscription. Can directly go ahead and read through this detailed document about certification. Any further question? No other questions?
Hi, Anbu.
Hi.
This is Deepak. Uh, Actually, in employee structure, you said it is an object, so it is called an JSON, like that you explained, right? So, uh, an array of objects is called also JSON, or we name it some other thing.
Sorry.
See, one object in employee structure. Employee structure, we have different employee structure, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh, so it's called an object.
Yes, it is an object.
So it's an object. Then it is called a JSON. That object is called an JSON.
Yes, JavaScript object notation. That object is called JavaScript object notation JSON. This
Okay.
object itself is called JSON generically. So tomorrow, if you see, let's say material object, sales order object, purchase requisition object, they all are JSON, variety of JSON.
If we have
In fact,
Okay, if we have
array of object which you
uh,
saw, that is also a JSON. That is also called JSON.
okay, okay, yeah,
Yes.
that is my question actually.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Fetch the middle element of array directly. It's the same way you remember splice function, or you can always go by index. You can calculate the total length of item divide by 2, and then that you can pass it as an index. Let me show you quickly. Since you asked this question, ideally you should try this out. So I have a fruits array still, I guess so. Yeah. I want the middle item. So maybe what you can do is say fruits dot length divide by 2, and that's a middle item index. Pass that. Pass that middle item index. आ गया middle element. Okay, just use your programming mind to be able to crack these things. I'm sure you will have questions. Try it out yourself and then come back to me if you're not able to achieve. That will be the right path of learning, guys. With that, thank you so much. Catch you up.